It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight. The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see. I could.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continued.
I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came. So am I.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can. She pulls on the cigarette, looking up at the sky. Her hair ripples in the breeze as she stands there, silent.
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, but I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. What? Why would I put myself through this insanity? Get myself cornered like this? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
She's getting scared now of you, the downstairs people, all of it.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened. What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought you Ravishol people would be more enlightened on this. I'm sorry, officer. Like what? It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, You don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's Cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. Sure, I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt, but that's just more.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
One of them killed themselves because of me. How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it? There you have it. The way of the warrior. That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Lowe's Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol. Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or... You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure des Badass? Oh no, believe me, it will be everyone else who's uncomfortable with it. You're safe. No one dares say a word, unless they're, like, from your station and coming to judge you. But what are...
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o'-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
What?
Her hand trembles. She's only pretending she didn't hear you say, devil woman.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay. Okay, it's not. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name, so I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it. No, it's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Maya Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline. It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music-infused alcoholism.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranie. Alasie is my father's name.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
But I haven't done anything illegal.
Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
But there's nowhere to go. A two-story drop to the Plaza Mosaic. If she could, she would have run before.
I think I know who did it. I know who shot Leslie. You know it wasn't me. Why would I do it? I have no motive.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she's gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby. She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is sex.
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she is romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan. She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
You've been trying to kick that door down, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. She's stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you. Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret it.
Something tells you, you will. She nods, then nervously pulls on her cigarette.
Okay.
She slowly lights another cigarette and You are. This is not the end of this.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. She slowly lights another cigarette and This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. This window is pristine on the inside, and golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes. a man and a woman on the single bed. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. "72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. One kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman having sex. A ray of backward motion.
Hello, officer. I think I almost...
Oh, hello, sweetie. So...
Hey, was there something you needed? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my time and yours?
man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pick Ruby. Well, Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could...
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
from the corner of your eye you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
It's you again. What is it?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion. all channeled into a single thought.
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No.
That's a lie.
All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
This complex operation is probably something illegal.
Just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
I've seen the wench. I'm not blind. You saying she reeled herself up by her collar, like some kind of...
Kidding?
Let's go with that. Point is, it's just a rusty wench. It doesn't... Nah, the only way up there is through Clausia's room. What do you mean? We've only been drinking here for what? 6 years? How much do we know?
Been thinking of getting wilding in racks. That is on my ass, boss.
There you go. Tatted on his ass. We know the place.
No, but that doesn't prove anything.
It's just 2 dolls. We're not giving you Ruby for that. She's one of us.
What if they're connected by the winch, Eugene? That is your name, right, Eugene? If they are connected, she could have gone to the kitchen, gone up, shot him on the roof, then come down. All in 5 minutes. How about that?
Yes, she could have. This is one long shot. Tell you one thing, I liked how that goddamn winch came up again. That was nifty. Firmly, try shit on a stick. All you've established is a possible route to the roof that you haven't found. And even then, a route doesn't put that bullet in the Burke's head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt, in the shape of a gun.
Look, fucko. Ruby and I are pretty tight. She would have showed me the gun if she had one. She knows I love guns.
Yeah, everyone knows Glenn loves guns.
I don't know, Glenny. Ruby's a little secretive, isn't she? Wasn't like she told you every little thing.
Nah, this kind of heat is not easy to come by. It took us some time to get gunned up to where we are.
Still, he's thinking about it now. And he knows gunning up has nothing to do with this.
That looks antique. A Belle McGray. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
"20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too."
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
You lost your gun?
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? Of course not. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
Now what the hell are we supposed to do with that?
He's trying to woo us with cop science. Forensic shit. I heard this mambo jumbo.
Yeah, but the mambo jambo he's saying goes against his theory A.
It does?
Yes.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration. He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she's skipped town. This is good.
There's no fucking leadership challenge. Just when I thought you were taking this seriously, cop, you put your head in your ass.
Man, now he's just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks.
Okay. We ruled out infighting. That's how this works, by exclusion. Remember, all we need to do is rule Ruby out too. That's all this is.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to. Yeah, exactly. Why not, man?
Wishful thinking has no place in a police investigation. A more serious consideration that you wish to avoid is that she knew what happened because she did it.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know what? She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. Sure. Normal. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop. Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up, like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on to the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this cop, he... But she was...
Everard's file on you seemed thin on info. She must know from somewhere else. From Jamrock. Something more.
No. Her and Everard. They don't talk. They've never met. They have no relations. They live in different galaxies. Get that through your head. She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Sure, there's some shit houses there, a cinderblock town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish, hair's red, dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They...
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we talked about before. I know you're... Oh, I'm just... Sure, mister. About what? Oh, we're on a strike.
So no.
Not ever, but Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble. Like what, mister? Yes, I'm like Mrs. Actually...
Who is this?
A real pretty... But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here. Oh, Lizzie, but she's a real...
For a fraction.
If me missus and doctor, like me...
Law school? Could...
Yeah, sure. I'm glad to answer.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of... Mr. Dubois, let's hear it, Harry.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there...
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing by all means, Harry. What's on your mind? Great! You want to bounce something off your old friend, Mr. Clare, right? Absolutely, Harry. What's on your mind? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly... Harry, you...
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. Ah, I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too. As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level, with the edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. The floorboard doesn't care, but maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards. Oh? Who? Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning. Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Mister, what were you doing in my fireplace? Oh, okay. Luby. Luby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or sometimes I can, but then Uller.
Kids.
Bye!
There's nothing else. you see?
Yes? Yes?
Listen to
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. There's no echo and no answer. Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachel's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building. I hope not.
There's no way the perp is in here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed. Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable, but I like the spirit. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without...
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Uncle.
There's no waking him.
Tequila sunset. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid. He really has no idea who this Ruby is. So
Okay, let's step.
The legend! He's back. And thirsty.
the worn and beaten.
You can revisit.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier. Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard, a sword.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
She could easily just...
You detect a note of longing.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, Isola. I'm guessing you don't know then. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west. I knew you would. Remind me to tell you one day. For now...
Do we?
I hear. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit. You're back. Good. What can I help you? The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rags. To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out biddable prime, was it? It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why?
It does look extremely rickety and wouldn't help much. There. One, it's glowing. Such a good girl. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way. It's military, a service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it. It's military. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast.
like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again.
It is such a pleasure to see you again.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Well, technically speaking, I'm good. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
The young man with
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the internally coherent. Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yekokata, the place to be! It's the message. Hi again. So, how are things going?
a number of things don't. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts the one with their would-be leader is less amused.
But you still are! What happened? I've been trying to... Shut it! What?
The young speed, he senses something is wrong.
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. I have no idea...
One speaker, they have one.
What do you mean? It's a one speaker.
This may be the brain.
What do you know? I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment. And of all cellular-based life. No shit. That's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean?
There's resignation in his voice.
All else? Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city, right? Because we do! We just need to turn it into a... to get our foot in the door. Like I told you, spooky arseholes. No, man, they're spook... But the sign was way off. Whatever you think is right, sir.
This is it. Judgment time.
Come on, man. Really?
The young man doesn't move. His earrings rattle from the tension.
No fucking way. Yes, fucking way.
Without a word, the other speed freak pulls a red wallet out of the toolbox and hands it. The disdain is palpable. His eyes pierce you like lightning as he lets go of the wallet.
We don't have any more money.
Ask for a cut. It's the right time to become business partners.
Yeah! I knew it. It's impossible now. No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard. We need a win. Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight. From here on, it'll be straight all the way. Goodbye, officer. Huh? I see you're here again. Yeah, gotta compare. I suck at socializing, man. A sticker.
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though.
So I can annoyed. Piss off on you. You shouldn't talk like that. Right.
An off-handed sorry, if there ever was one.
Seems like my creation has found its way into the legal bureaucracy. The dead guy smiling. He defeated this, the present or maybe...
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it.
Or drunk, or in a clinical coma, or glad to... Simplicity. Well, the sticker, the clothes, the music, not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. There's a gathering. I guess one could write an entire treatise. Nah, you heard me. Weird stuff. Wires going into water. Nothing's wrong with it. Most of it does psionic powers, pale-related. The hardcore, I can see that. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve...
Hello again. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know. I should have been able to control them. And I will. May I ask? What did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Yes? Yes?
worn and beaten wood.
You can revisit.
Yes, what is it? What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Yes, what is it?
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. No. That's the production schedule. I don't need it. The right filament memory has off-site copy written on silver tape.
She doesn't care how you got your hands on that thing.
It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. That's her name, I believe. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss. You just need to get the offsite copy from the ice bear.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on... like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads. I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just be frosted? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means. Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore, and because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. No. She literally...
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic. The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental heat, yes, but...
The lieutenant coughed.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Qualsund.
It hurts a bit for her to... The legendary This glorious multi-tool makes a regular pry bar complete...
Yes? No.
She doesn't care how you got your hands on that thing.
Thanks.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly. This orange machine is dead still. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewaltsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to...
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. Tiles on the cube are still like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The speaker comes.
Good evening. First, please repeat. Is this the offside copy? Good. Please repeat the password. No.
Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif you saw on the stained glass window.
Good. I've unlocked the offside copy.
Ka-ching.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Good. Thank you. Please repeat. How can I help? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. It sounds like something's broken. Machines aren't supposed to behave like this. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. The paper is soaked with ink. Its monochrome darkness spanning from margin to margin. It's not possible.
Odd. Something is obviously broken here.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the key.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, I got that. What were their ambitions?
He has this is way above your...
Okay, well...
Like he's ready.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate. Through Colin State, then there's the game...
His fascination has swept aside. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard.
Not to mind, but I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game. Indeed.
Super cool. Someone should...
Indeed. It's ambitious and untethered from reality, but yes, especially... Okay, let's keep moving.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it. I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not as this is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that. Sona doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something, for her morning star, eyes scouring the millimeter.
Here, I found it. Hold on. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly. There, in the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals, solving the puzzle of water bowls.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I've got a computer for that. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
What? She only wants you to... Yes, but you like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
Thanks.
It's awfully silent again. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls. Each chalk... Oh boy, this is going to be good. It moves like a ghost. This task is an insult to your mental skills. Some water spills out. The lead programmer sends you. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah. Nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going to be something terrifying. Maybe it's going to tear the world apart.
Like that evil ink that filled the printout, erasing coherence and meaning.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well...
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary. Yeah.
The lieutenant, and then nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute, she doesn't answer.
Damn it! No, of course not. Nothing happened. Let's move.
Despite her fear.
No. No. But this is just... You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything.
This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pace. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your...
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
This is bad. Getting a weapon back is the priority. We can't have an unhinged civilian running around as a gun.
Comply, or I will light you the fuck up! The man appears to be pulling out an object from his pocket. Fear the threat! Fear the threat! Superseding event. Split-second decision. Get on the ground! Get on the goddamn... Get on the ground! around. I want you on the pavement right now. This is the pit. Subject yourself to a full...
In her mind, the cavity search is happening, as long as she's saying it. It appears the things she says are very real to her.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Cut the pavement. You're under arrest.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Officer in need of assistance.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported.
Big red key. That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed! No! No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth! Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with...
What's the situation?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer! License and registration! License and registration!
Officer, there is no way I'm leaving it like this.
Confined quarters! Assailant coming at me! Split-second decision! Fire well!
Oh my God.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police. Police guns have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun. Right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they?
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. There's a bit more to this than that. But right now, we need to decide what to do.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Okay, that settles it. I'll contact my station after we wrap it up for the day. They can contact the sanitarium and handle the logistics. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more. The woman is one of those things, a police cap. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours? It's your hat.
The old woman doesn't react to your touch. The old woman doesn't react. The woman is one of those things, Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like it reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. The girl is it. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged. You hear someone walking around inside. A poor communard from the...
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go.
Later then, it's generally easier to do. As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond, somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the acrid smell of fail. No, that's just slightly burnt coffee.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours. Must have slipped my mind.
The metal grill is cool. You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid, His right hand. He wants so badly to draw his armistice.
Oh, I'm fine. Which is just to say, we should be prepared for it.
You can make out the voices are male, you think. The clang of metal, a pair of frightened ears cowering in some dark crevice of the...
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice? Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
There's no response.
All right. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like...
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference. You two, you are late.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than someone his age should bear. Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend. Just a moment. Could this be the former owner of a certain jacket you acquired recently?
Are you saying you haven't done the reading for tonight?
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.
Yes, a revolutionary reading group. The most ideological...
There's profound
Maybe they can explain themselves.
In the most
Yes, that's probably the best.
But more specifically.
Comrade Steban.
It's obvious. Yawn. Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of Beano-clads?
We have been known.
Precisely.
Within the contours of Mazovian history. One thing you learn.
We are post-attendants.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the...
They are not primary.
The Counter-Truancy Task Force, or SCIPS.
We study all the facts.
Truly extra.
And before that we...
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention detaches. The voices of the young men fade away. It's a cool evening, you notice. Out beyond, the way they billow in the... That must be it. You imagine you're in another light, gradually.
And before that...
But, of course, our special You're not familiar with him? Only Krasma.
It's hard to...
He also happens to be the...
Plasm. The young man sighs. His
Flinching.
We think of ourselves as morphin and
To be clear,
seems
Comrade Ulix.
or even
what are
In any case.
the SRV?
though historic.
Good point.
Are they be? It's always one thing. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can
No.
to be clear,
Seem
Comrade
or even
what
In any case.
though historic.
Good point.
are they be? It's always that way. But
That's easy.
deliver.
It's a symptom.
His companion can barely suppress.
No one.
His he's practically.
Yes. Like, can I hold it? It's heavier than.
Though what? Exact. When he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of.
What do you mean? This is the. We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the idea.
Intellectual attrition.
Imagine the audacity of one.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new.
Don't forget to.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle. They're the most.
A gang of.
It's okay for Uli to say that because he's that. The Godwald school.
In other words,
That's why they spend all their time smoking. It is You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But go ahead. Sure.
Sleep well.
yes?